What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are diving into Twilight Axis. We will learn more about Arlette and her past with Zeon. We will start briefly with the ONA without explaining too much, and then we will dive deeper as we go through the light novel. So let's get into this. UC-0096. Sometime after the Laplace incident, a man walks into Danton's dry cleaning business on Side 6. He realizes he is not a customer. He is looking for Arlette Almaj. They go somewhere else to talk. This man is Mehmet Merka. They meet with Arlette. She wants to return to Axis. Inside the colony, the Mistema team advances on the Gundam. This is Gundam Tristan. The RX-78AN-01 Gundam AN-01 Tristan is developed from data from the NT-1 Alex Gundam and designed to be used by new types. This was made using leftover surplus of old Gundam parts. This is also the first Gundam made by Buick Concern, the company responsible for the first generation of Crossbow Vanguard's Gundams. It is rumored that the base is the original Alex Gundam that Buick Concern eventually got their hands on. This was stolen by the Fermo brothers. More on them later. Weapons include 60mm Vulcans, a 90mm Gatling gun, the Gundam Mark II beam saber, new Gundam's beam rifle, and a shield. Danton gets into his mobile suit while Arlette heads back to the Mistema team. She says that she loves him like a father. Danton launches in his Zaku 3 Custom. This AMX-011S Zaku 3 Custom is similar to Mashimer's Zaku 3 Custom, but Danton's is painted red similar to Char, and it retains the original knees and backpack, unlike Mashimer's. Danton also uses the Gyaradoga's beam rifle. This was originally designed for Char. Danton begins fighting with Tristan. He isn't hanging with the Gundam at full force. Arlette tells Mehmet that Danton became a test pilot because he couldn't pull the trigger on another human. This tracks with what we have seen in The Return of Johnny Raiden, where Danton is always on the back line helping Char. Danton hesitates to shoot. That is when an EFF mobile suit approaches. It is a variant of the Bjarlint. The RX-160G Bjarlint he sold is a variant of the Bjarlint, which originally belonged to the group Burnham. It has two back-mounted propellant tanks similar to the one seen on the Bjarlint Custom from Unicorn. It retains its claw arms. Weapons include a megaparticle gun and a beam saber. As the two melee battle, the Bjarlint gets stuck under the rubble. Danton rushes. The Bjarlint cuts off its leg to break free. The Gundam also is back on the battlefield with the Bjarlint. The two Fetty mobile suits retreat. We flash back to the past where Danton is piloting an R-Jarja. The mobile suit is damaged as he returns. Arlette chastises him. Back in UC-96, Danton, Arlette, and Mehmet head to Axis. She thinks back to her past, where she learned that Char was in love with Lala. Arlette seemed to have lived in the shadows of Lala. Danton tells her that she is the best partner that he has ever had. Back in the present, the three spot Sazabi. While she is hugging Sazabi, mobile suits begin attacking their landing crafts. She goes into Sazabi and pulls out a T. It is the Psycho Frame. Arlette takes off in the asteroid and finds a mobile suit that she once developed. It is the Ahava Aizeru. The AMA X4 Ahava Aizeru was developed during the first Neo-Zeon War and was never touched while inside Axis. It was a testbed mobile suit designed to test new types' mental sensitivities. It appears as though it has the same design concepts as the Alpha Aizeru. It is equipped with a mega beam cannon, a megaparticle gun, a mega beam rifle, a large beam rifle, and 10 funnels that attach together to form a tail. It also has an eye field generator. She gets into the mobile armor and engages with the Gundam pilot, who is now piloting the Kurwanal. The RX-78AN-01 Kurwanal is made by Burnham and incorporates Tristan into its control systems. It isn't stated, but it resembles the Dendrobium in many ways, including how the Gundam integrates into the mobile armor. Weapons include the Mega Beam Cannon, a Micro Missile Pod, a Mega Beam Rifle, a 5.2 Missile Pod, a large claw arm, and a large beam saber. She uses her funnels, but he is able to destroy them no problem. He wears down her eye field. Ahava Aizeru uses the mega beam cannon, but the output is too much for the unit. Kurwanal goes in to finish Arlette off, but that is when Danton and the R-Jarja comes in to help. Danton leaves her immobile so he could take care of the Gundam. The Colonel ejects the Gundam. The pilot and Danton engage. Danton doesn't seem to have a chance. Arlette screams out to his father figure. With the help of the psychoframe that she took from Sazabi, it activates her mobile armor. She is reminded of the first time she met Char. A cosmic glow erupts. The pilot of the Gundam couldn't kill them after watching the cosmic glow. He says that he and the girl are the same, meaning that they are both cyber new types. Mehmet once again returns to the dry cleaners. This time, he doesn't have a mission for them. He simply wants a few things dry cleaned. And that will do it for the ONA, which really doesn't go into detail about the Gundam pilot, or Arlette for that matter. It is very high concept with little depth. Oh, but it's beautiful. So let's change that by diving directly into the light novel. Arlette opens her eyes. T-minus 180. She fell asleep for a moment. Danton tells her that she is always like this. Arlette is annoyed by this comment. A lieutenant junior grade, Mehmet Merka, asks if she could take a look at the tablet, asking if she is certain if this is the right port. She is certain this is the place. Mehmet gives her a smile. They are exploring Axis, a place once called home to many Zeon soldiers. She remembers clearly March 12th, UC 0093, the day the asteroid split in half. Their destination is the research facility. She tells her that it isn't on Musa, as Musa only contained residential blocks, but they have to go through it. One thing I always forget is that Musa was detached to save the citizens during the Grips conflict, but it was then reattached the following year during the first Neo-Zeon War. You only know this from visual cues in the anime. We haven't got to any Double Zeta manga, so perhaps it's mentioned more there. She mentions that Musa holds a special place in the hearts of Axis citizens. It's also the place where Roberto/Ricardo got drunk with some jailbait. You remember that? Rest in peace, Yayoi. Musa is seen as a holy land. Danton, who once lived there, was never granted access to Musa. In fact, many of the one-year war survivors who fled didn't get access. This statement conflicts with what we've seen. I get that Shar in High Command gets access, but we also seen Roberto on Musa. Remember when he got drunk with that jailbait? Rest in peace, Yayoi. Danton's orders were given by Shar. He has been protecting her since the Flanagan Institute. Danton, Arlette, and Mehmet, who is leading the Mass Stemma Special Forces unit, make their way onto Musa. Musa rotated to create artificial gravity, but that no longer functions. Minovsky particle density increases. They reach the facility, the Maharaja Khan Memorial Research Facility. Gunfire suddenly rains down on them. The special forces return fire. A cloud of dust settles, revealing a mobile suit. The team begins running through the alleys of Musa. They are no match for a mobile suit on foot. They notice that it is a Jagan, but it isn't one of theirs. It is a Burnham type. The RGM-89 Jagan Burnham type is a Jagan variant belonging to the group Burnham. Besides the purple color scheme, differences from the main Jagan include the new left eye sensor and a lance-like beam rifle. These were stolen after the Second Neo-Zeon War. Other weapons include a Vulcan pod system, a beam saber, and 3 hand grenades. They have been set up and they need to fall back. An explosion goes off inside a building as a distraction. The Mass Stemma team came prepared. 2 more mobile suits appear. One is another Jagan, but the other has a V-fin. It is a Gundam. They still don't know who the enemy is, but they are probably after the same thing that Arlette is after. She goes through in her mind of potential Gundams she has researched. This is something new. She realizes they are close to the research facility, and there may be prototypes still functioning inside. She runs off on her own, but Danton follows suit. I was going to make a comment about how these mobile suits still have power during the ONA, but Arlette explains that the facility is still powered independently and might still work. She wants Danton to be the pilot of whatever they find in the facility. They head in and find a Zaku 3 custom. She still has a key that has all of Danton's pilot settings. She wonders why he held onto it. There is still power and they are able to open the hatch. Like the anime, she says that he loves him like a father before heading back to the rest of the team. Danton takes off in the Zaku. Mehmet sneaks up on the Jagan and plants a bomb. He uses a rocket launcher and attacks another in the leg. He was able to take out one mobile suit, but half of his team is already down and the Gundam is still untouched. He tried his best and awaits death. But that is when Danton comes in and fights. He closes in on the Jagan. Arlette comes on the comms telling Danton not to destroy the fusion reactor inside the asteroid. She is communicating with a portable comm laser. He goes in and takes out the cockpit of the Jagan. One more mobile suit. He approaches the Gundam. As Danton was plotting something in his head, the Gundam reacted faster. A beam blast temporarily blinds Danton, but it barely grazes the Zaku. He begins punching the Gundam, followed by a roundhouse kick. Chuck Norris be damned. The Gundam goes in with his rifle, but the Zaku uses its cannon, blasting the rifle out of his enemy's hands. The Gundam is unarmed and tries to run away, but Arlette tells him not to follow. He needs to protect Arlette first and foremost. Arlette tells Mehmet that the red machine was made for Shar, for the person that she loved, but he never ended up using it. Also here, she refers to Shar as Captain, while in The Return of Johnny Raiden, they refer to him as Colonel. What's up with that? And that will do it for this episode. The ONA merely shows a glimpse of Arlette's life, but luckily the light novel shows more of her story. There is a manga as well that we will eventually cover, though it is spot on to what is being told here. Next time, we will see Danton and Arlette run their dry cleaning business on Side 6. Mehmet will come and tell them about the mission. This time, we will get details instead of just glimpses of their conversation like the anime. And we will learn more about Burnham and their ties to the Rona family. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, in the future, you still need to have your clothes dry cleaned. Not everything in the future is better. Peace.